racing fans to Motorsports Radio, home of motorsports talk, and we're going to talk about the Bad Boys Off-Road 300. This Sunday's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race, which was originally called the New England 300, and then they decided to call it the Bad Boys Off-Road 300, and this race was off the charts, and we're going to get right into it. So here is the Motorsports Radio breakdown. It was the Flat and Furious New Hampshire Motor Speedway, race number 2 of the chase. Cousin Carl Edwards, the pole sitter on Sunday. Martin Truex Jr. started second, and starting third was Ryan Newman. Jimmy Johnson started fourth, Denny Hamlin in fifth. The green flag drops at 2:17 Eastern Time with the 1978 31 and 48 and 11 in the top 5, and race number 2 of round 1 is underway. The goal for the next week, this past weekend and this weekend coming up, is to keep into the top 12. So there you go. Casey Kane starts in the rear for unapproved body adjustment. And now let us see what has unfolded on this first Sunday of fall in the far corner of the Northeast in the New England area. The first autumn race, top 5, lap 5, Carl Edwards, Martin Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson, who climbs up to third, Kyle Larson up to fourth, Matt Kenseth in fifth, and only maybe half a second between the drivers. And then top 5, lap 25 was Carl Edwards, Truex Jr., Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Larson still. And again, the delta between these cars, just half a second mark, average speed hovering around the 150 mark. And so it looked like slow-mo out there, and that is why. And as we wrap up the first 30 laps, we get a new race leader, Martin Truex Jr., who would wind up leading the most laps on Sunday. Top 3 at lap 30, Truex Jr., Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, and Truex Jr. putting 1.3 second lead on Carl Edwards at lap 35. Top 5, lap 35, Truex Jr., Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson down to second, and Ryan Newman, who started in third, is now running 8th. In fact, Truex, Carl Edwards, and Matt Kenseth would remain in the top 3 up until lap 59. And that's when Matt Kenseth moves up to second, Carl Edwards down to third, by Truex Jr. with a 1.99 second lead, which dropped to a 1.09. And then we get to lap 74, and this would be the first round of green flag pit stops. Joe Logano first to come in, and so far a very long stretch of green flag racing, quarter way through with no yellow. And after this round of green flag pit stops, the top 3 now, Truex Jr., Matt Kenseth, and Kyle Busch. Top 3 at lap 89, Truex Jr.'s lead 1.8 seconds. That was recorded at lap 82. And so far, a quiet day as we complete the first 100 laps. 100 green flag laps up until this point. 100 in the books, 200 to go. Still a whole lot of racing ahead. Truex Jr. getting into some lap traffic and adding drivers to the lappers. Truex Jr. putting Joe Logano lap down at around lap 114. Just 16 cars in the lead lap. Joe Logano was running 17th at the time. So yes, a quiet day in New Hampshire, but Truex Jr. making noise. And Truex Jr. As Truex Jr. is putting drivers' laps down, he is getting chased down by Matt Kenseth, and who had the second most laps led on Sunday. And believe it or not, after 125 laps, the first caution, and after that, they just kept coming. Caution 1. After 125 laps, this was for debris, turn 1, between turns 1 and 2, and now things go from quiet to interesting. The restart from this caution was at lap 132 with no change in the top 3. Still Truex Jr., Kenseth, and Kyle Busch. And now what do we have here? Jimmy Johnson up to second, Chase Elliott up to third right after this restart. And Truex Jr., Johnson, Chase Elliott, top 3, lap 133, right? And now we get the 48 chasing the 78 now. So it's the 20 chasing the 78. Now we have the 48 chasing the 78. And Matt Kenseth, however, at lap 144, passes Chase Elliott to retake third place. So we have a top 5 at lap 145 of Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Chase Elliott, and Kevin Harvick. And then we get to lap 150, and this would be the race halfway mark. Question was, would the second half be as quiet as the first? as the chase grid battle continues in the Granite State. The 78, 48, 20, 24, and the 4 still in the top 5 at lap 155 until lap 156 when Matt Kenseth gets by Jimmy Johnson to take second. So now we got the 78, 20, and the 48. Truex Jr., Kenseth, Johnson, but Martin Truex Jr. putting 2 seconds on the now second place Matt Kenseth. However, that lead would shrink to a half a second. Kenseth's trying to catch up, and then we get to lap 165. This will be question number 2 for once again for debris. Back to green at lap 172. Truex Jr. still in the lead into the restart. Truex Jr., Kyle Busch now second, Kenseth down in third, and now we get the 18 behind that 78, and the 18 behind that 78 until Matt Kenseth gets into second. So now once again we have the 20 going after the 78. Top 5 lap 175 with 125 to go. Truex Jr., Matt Kenseth, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, and Jimmy Johnson. Truex Jr.'s big lead getting chewed up by Matt Kenseth, tailgating Truex Jr. And at lap 179, Matt Kenseth goes for the lead. Truex Jr., who led 141 laps so far, drops to second. And that was it. He would not come back to lead for the rest of the race. And it looked like Truex Jr. and Matt Kenseth was going to win this one, but turned out to be a little different. Now, those who saw the race know what happened, but those who did it, we're going to tell you about it. Matt Kenseth putting approximately 1.5 seconds now on second place, Truex Jr. But hold on, because we have a top 3 now at 188 of Matt Kenseth, Truex Jr., and Kevin Harvick. Now it ain't so quiet no more, because Kevin Harvick wasn't winning. And we're going to get right into it. Positions are shuffling now, and now the race was heating up. Top 5 lap 195, Matt Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Busch. And any one of these top 5 drivers could get to victory lane. And all top 5 drivers are chases at this moment of the race. But in fact, out of the top 10, okay, at lap 195, out of the top 10, only one driver was a non-chase, and that was Casey Kane, who was running in 8th. So he had to start on the back. He worked his way back up to 8th. He actually would wind up finishing in 8th place. And then we get to lap 200, the start of the last 100. Lap 217, lap 218, we get a second round of green flag pit stops. Austin Dillon and Joey Logano the first to come in. Approximately 46 laps go by since the restart at lap 172 through lap 217. And then we get to lap 225 with 75 laps to go. Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Busch, but still through the green flag cycle. And so now we got another race lead all of a sudden, Danica Patrick. And then we get question number 3. This time, not for debris, but the 46 car goes into the wall, smoking, scrapes the outside wall. 46 car driven by Michael Annett. Question 3 comes out at lap 240 after a 68-lap stretch of green flag racing. I think that's the second most. The biggest stretch was the 125 laps. That was the largest green flag stretch of the entire race on Sunday. Restart lap 248 with a top 3 of Matt Kenseth back in first. Danica Patrick goes to pit, so Kenseth gets the lead back. Truex Jr. in second, Chase Elliott in third. Danica Patrick dropped down to 8th after pitting. Restart at lap 248, and then lap 250 would start the last 50 with Truex Jr. hunting down Matt Kenseth. Now that 78 is chasing the 20, and inside of the last 50 as the New England getaway gets down to some nitty gritty. Kevin Harvick fighting for Chase Elliott for that third place spot. The 24 and the 4 side by side, and the fight for first between Matt Kenseth and Truex Jr. continues. Kenseth's lead just 0.3 of a second on Truex Jr. That was recorded at lap 259. Truex Jr. now tailgating Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick. Here comes Kevin Harvick up into third, the 20, the 70, and the 4 in the top 3 as we get to lap 260, the final 40. Nitty gritty. And man, as the mojo was in full throttle, the yellow flag flies for the 4th time. Caution 4, lap 263. The 95 car, flat tire, sends the 95 spinning. It was the left front 95, driven by Michael McDowell. Restart lap 268 with 32 to go, and it's not over yet. Kenseth in front, Truex in second, Harvick in third, and oh man, that 78 car, Truex Jr. just harassing Matt Kenseth, determined to get back to first. But man, oh man, some hardcore fight for the lead. Truex Jr. trying to get back in front, and Matt Kenseth trying to get away from Truex Jr. Top 5, lap 275. Matt Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Chase Elliott. Things started really heating up now, and it's the no blink zone as we start the last 20 laps at lap 280. Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kyle Busch in the top 3 now, lap 283, 20, 78, and 18. And then we have question number 5, man. Trevor Bayne into the wall. Trevor Bayne, the number 6 car, into the wall at turn 3. Back to green at lap 289. Still, Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, top 3. Then question number 6 comes out, which was... I didn't write down that question 6 came out, but it was right after the restart from question 5. Back to green again. Matt Kenseth in the lead. Kevin Harvick now in second. And third, Kyle Busch in third. And Truex Jr., and it was an issue on pit road, if I'm not mistaken. Truex Jr. winds up dropping down to 5th. And now a new race leader right off this restart. Kevin was in the lead off the restart. There's a bunch of shuffling cars coming off of that restart. And all of a sudden, we have a new race leader. And this was Kevin Harvick. And man, oh man, top 3, lap 295, the final 5, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, and Brad Keselowski somehow got his way into 3rd, and things are now starting to really shake up. Kevin Happy Harvick on his way. White flag flies at lap 299, checkered at 300, and Kevin Harvick, winner of the Bad Boy Off-Road 300. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why you don't just watch the last couple of laps. Kevin Harvick punches his ticket to the round of 12, and the crazy burnout. I think we'll start rating the burnouts. We'll rate the burnouts. A little fun with it. Talk about, here on Motorsports Radio. Some guys do really good burnouts. Some need a little practice. But if you thought that was crazy, this race that we saw on Sunday, it's going to get even crazier next Sunday because the action heads to Dover. It's going to be race 3 of the round of 16, and it's an elimination race, the Monster Mile. 16 are going in, but only 12 will be coming out and heading to the round of 12. So it was a crazy race yesterday, and here is... I'm going to break this down, okay? First, let's go to the top 5 finishes. Kevin Harvick for the win. Matt Kenseth finishes 2nd. Kyle Busch 3rd. Keselowski winds up finishing 4th. And Kurt Busch comes in to finish in 5th. Kevin Harvick, 100th start with Stewart-Haas Racing, and his 11th win with Stewart-Haas. Now, here's the crazy part. Truex Jr. finishes 7th. Most laps led, 141 laps. The second most laps led was Matt Kenseth, leading 105. Kevin Harvick, the winner, led 8. And there you go. Pole sitter Carl Edwards comes in 6th. Motorsports Radio, race info. 14 lead changes, 8 leaders, top speed 132.021 miles per hour. Fastest lap time 28.85 seconds. 6 cautions, 31 yellow flag laps. Race time 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 49 seconds. The next NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race number 3 at Dover. Race number 3 of round 1 at Dover, and the elimination race to determine the round of 12. Thank you for tuning in. This is Manny Allegretta, and this is Motorsports Radio.